Marissa. So, Archie was, in fact, the name of my 17-pound, 2-ounce cat that I dissected in high school A&P. And he probably wasn't the best teaching tool because once we opened him up, there were abnormalities in basically every body system. So, half the time we're like, Mrs. Bush, what's going on here? So, yeah, Archie, great memories there. But you challenged me to read Forensic Detectives, How I Solved the World's Toughest Cases by Robert Mann. And I've read a lot of books that fall into this genre. I started reading them when I was in middle school, and I kind of got so into it when I was in middle school that we had to do a magazine project where we made a magazine about some sort of science field that we wanted to go into. And I told Mrs. Smithers I wanted to do it on forensic anthropology. And my science teacher had no clue what that was. And it wasn't like Bones was a popular show at that time, so I couldn't be like, well, you know the TV show Bones, and Mrs. Smithers would have a reference point. So I kind of went into reading this book with some preconceived ideas about what it was going to be about. A lot of the times when I was reading books in these genres, they talk about criminal cases. And this isn't what this book is really talked about. Robert Mann works for the Central Identification Laboratory, which part of their major job is recovery of remains of soldiers and identifying them. And so a lot of the cases that Robert Mann is talking about in this book are ones where maybe a soldier has been misidentified from their skeletal remains, or they discover skeletal remains and they have to go recover them from old battle sites and identify who this soldier was so that he can be buried in a cemetery with the honors that they deserve. And that was really interesting for me just because there's so much that goes into this process that we don't really think about, because a lot of times I think we forget that sometimes soldiers go MIA for decades when they were actually killed in action. And so the work that Robert Mann and the Central Identification Laboratory did, or still do, is amazing work, and it's great for the families of those who have gone missing in action. So yeah, it was a really interesting book to read from that aspect. It was a lot different topic, on this topic than what I've gotten used to reading. His writing was a little bit weird stylistically, so that kind of messed things up for me a little bit, but I would still give it a 3 out of 5 stars. So yeah, that was Forensic Detectives, How I Solved the World's Toughest Cases. So yeah, can't wait to hear what you have for me next. Bye!